Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Philosmos. My name is Fumani and this is the second video that I'm doing for you today. This one is basically on how to control your emotions. So firstly, understand that don't ever try to control your emotions. The title of this is actually very misleading, but I just would like to get you to understand that you'd like to control your emotions, but that is not the right angle. And I'll elaborate on that further into this video. Firstly, understand how your emotions come about. So emotions come about when there have been thoughts that have been invested in, thoughts that have a high level of belief within them. And whenever you encounter something in your environment that reminds you of that thought that you held in your mind, that image that you held in your mind, then there needs to be a resonance to it that brings that thought to life. So what that means basically is that a thought itself has no power. A thought itself is meaningless. It is the feeling, the emotion that brings the vibrancy of that thought to existence, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. So a feeling cannot come in unless there has been a thought that it has invested in itself. So a lot of times, a lot of people will say, okay, I'm feeling a certain way and I don't know why. It's because you're not investigating correctly. You're looking at the emotion itself and you're trying to discover why this emotion came about. So let's just say some level of deep sadness or deep anxiety just comes into your experience and you feel it. So normally what people do is try to suppress it, try to distract themselves with any object or any experience. They'll maybe watch TV, play some games, or interact with other people, have sex, do drugs. There are many ways in which people suppress their emotions. And what that does, yes, it gets the emotion to calm down and basically subside in such a way that you don't experience it for that moment at all, and you're engulfed in another activity. But what happens is that it festers within you and it grows within you. So you suppressing an emotion does not make it disappear. It's only making it dwell within you to such an extent that the next trigger will amplify that emotion with a bit more intensity. So if you're feeling sadness and then another trigger occurs after you've suppressed it, another trigger happens. Let's just say, for example, you lose your phone or something happens in your experience that triggers that sadness. That sadness that you felt in the past that you suppressed is literally the same sadness coming into your experience with more intensity, saying, hey, pay attention to me. Hey, pay attention to me. So feelings, here's a secret to feelings. Here's a hidden secret to feelings. There is no such thing as a new feeling. There's no new feeling within you. Every feeling that you experience, you've already felt before. But you have not allowed yourself to fully express that feeling. Thus, it still lies harbored within you. And that goes coarsely with positive feelings as well. Feelings of happiness. We don't, as human beings, fully experience happiness. Because when we experience happiness, we're already contemplating in our minds, how long will this happiness last? How long will it last? And can I take this happiness into the future? Why is this happiness happening now? That thing that triggered the happiness, how long is that going to last? All these questions just start festering the mind, and we never actually experience the happiness, and then we suppress the happiness. Conversely, with the negative feelings as well, you experience anger, disappointment, frustration. And what do? We suppress it. And waiting for the next trigger, which triggers it, and then you feel it, and then Again, you suppress it. So that is the normal way we deal with emotions as human beings, and that is the incorrect way, because we never actually get the emotion to express itself. The modus operandi, the objective of having a feeling or emotion is expression. So behind expression is allowance for that expression. So when you have a feeling that comes within you, that comes within your experience, the best thing to do is to allow it to express itself. Feelings have never been the reason as to why people kill themselves or why people get killed, or it's not the feeling itself, it's the investment and the way we deal with the feeling that is the problem. So if you feel anxiety or feel anguish or frustration, and your approach is to suppress it and pretend as if it doesn't exist, then that feeling becomes a negative thing. Because now you're allowing it to fester in your body. You're not allowing it to express itself, thus to leave your body. Because energy wants to flow. It never wants to be stagnant. It doesn't want to remain in one place. It wants to flow. So when you allow that emotion to flow, meaning allowing it to express itself, then you'll find that a lot of negative emotions are surface. Underlining it, the fundamental emotion is an emotion of great joy and great bliss. But because you've misinterpreted that feeling, because you lack the understanding of that feeling, then it resonates in a negative way. So your feelings should actually get you to focus. Feelings are a call to attention, that there is something within you, especially negative emotions. There is something within you that is not aligned, that is not in harmony with who you are. So if you're feeling a negative feeling, whatever it is, whatever the cause it is, understand that it is an indication that you are not in harmony, you're not in alignment with who you truly are. And who you truly are is a being of infiniteness. Thus, the feeling is resonating the fact that you are limiting yourself. So understand that you will have a feeling, but don't pay attention to the feeling too much, because we have one stage of people that suppress it, and then we have another stage where people feel that feeling a bit too much and they get too invested in it, and they just end up experiencing it and never actually letting it go and flow. So the best way to do it is to always approach your feelings from the state of pure consciousness. So pure consciousness observes the feeling, but is not attached to it. It does not say, I am feeling this way. There is anger, but I am not feeling anger. And that is only a statement that you would understand if you've ever been in pure consciousness. And pure consciousness is a state that you can get into right now. It's not something difficult. It's just understanding your singular position as consciousness. There is a feeling of anger, feeling of frustration, feeling of nervousness, whatever it is. There's that feeling, and then there's the awareness of it. Now, the awareness of it is not attached to the feeling. It is merely observing the feeling. But what we have been doing for eons is getting invested in the feeling. Thus, we become that feeling, and that feeling thus controls us. But if you stay as awareness and realize that this is the feeling and I am awareness, standing aside from it, unaffected by it, unscathed by it, then that feeling dissipates. But we never actually experience that, because we get very invested in the feeling, and we get so locked into the idea that I am feeling this way. And because I am feeling this way, something needs to be done. I need to deal with this. And most of us deal with it by ignoring it, and some of us deal with it by actually taking action in those particular states, which is actually even more dangerous than suppressing it, because now you can take actions that can harm other people. So no emotion should be approached with fear. I don't care how intense that emotion is. No emotion should be approached from fear. It is just an emotion indicating to you that you are out of alignment. So every emotion, feel it, and once you feel that emotion, you'll realize that there's a thought behind that feeling, and whatever thought it is, find logic. Now this is the power of logic. Find logic in that thought, and you will discover that all these thoughts that get you out of harmony with who you really are thoughts of that entertain things that are basically illogical, for the fact maybe that you're not worthy, or for the fact that nobody cares about you, or for the fact that you're not intelligent, or you're not powerful, you're not worth loving. All these feelings are based on irrational premises, based on experiences. But for the fact that you exist, for the fact that you're here, for the fact that you've broken every single probability of not existing, must indicate in some way, shape, or form that you belong. You don't look at the stars, you don't look at any other animal species and say, this doesn't belong. They all share their natural place in the ecosystem, and without them, the ecosystem would be missing something. And without you, existence would be missing something. Thus, if you exist, you're probably, in fact, there's a definite reason as to why you exist. Thus, any feeling that echoes that you are not worthy, or that something can affect you, is an illusion. And we hold on to these illusions because we don't investigate the feeling. We're so afraid of the feeling as if it's going to take us away into this abyss and destroy us, that we negate dealing with it. The best thing you can do when you feel a negative feeling is to allow it to express itself. And once it's expressed itself, it will reveal the thought that is holding it within existence. And then find the logic in that thought. There's probably no logic. And if there's no logic, drop the thought. Drop it and entertain a new thought. Now, this will take time because you've gotten yourself so accustomed to that thought that letting it go is a process. But you can let it go at any given moment. Right now, it needn't take time. It's just most human beings have that element in which they need time to deal with things, but it needn't take time. So understand that your emotions are always just indicators. So when you experience a negative emotion, get happy, because it's your opportunity to now investigate what it is that is restricting you from living the unlimited life, the unlimited experience, the infinite experience. It is preventing you from doing that. And existence has that grace to allow you to experience that, to allow you to acknowledge that. So any emotion, even if it is happiness, allow that happiness to express itself. Don't now hold on to that happiness. Oh, I have to keep this happiness. I have to keep it. That is the surest way to make happiness slip away from you. Feelings of joy, feelings of love, feeling of happiness, feelings of excitement. Don't hold on to them. Purely observe it from pure consciousness. I am pure awareness. I am this awareness standing as a singular, and there's that experience of happiness. Now, when you attach yourself to that happiness, and that happiness goes, what happens to that? There's that feeling of disappointment, the feeling of as if you've lost something. But how can you ever lose something when you are standing as a singular point of awareness? So any emotion, whether it's in the good spectrum or the bad spectrum, and we've given it those labels because of how we feel about certain feelings. But you needn't attach yourself to any feeling. Just allow them to express itself. See a feeling like a song. Allow the song to play, and then when a song is done, let it go. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to my video. Please like, please subscribe, please share. And to end it off, as I always end it all, for those who seek no more, for in the present we find it all. Thank you very much, guys.